Congratulations. So we don't
Thank
script these. So we just got you on. We're not going over anything. We're not, we're just going to get right into, what we're going to talk about is, man, your results, your journey with us. And I just want to start off first by saying the funniest thing of working with you, I remember when you got the first job offer, and then the second job offer was your wife, man. I'm never going to forget that when she was like, why are you always on these group coaching calls? And why are you talking to Tim so much? And dude, now, we're going to let people know, soon, but you got an amazing gig, man. And I'm super, super freaking excited for you. So, hey, we have Shantanu here. Shantanu, tell people, in 15 seconds what you do. What do you specialize in?
So I'm an engineering leader in software, mostly in distributed systems, hybrid systems, and SaaS products.
Excellent.
And I manage people at the same time, I architect and design software and services.
Excellent. So where were you before you started working with us, right? I can't remember if you just came off a contract or came off a position, but maybe talk to people about where you were before you kind of found us.
So basically, I was in a great position. I was building a team across continents, and all of a sudden the corporate strategy changed. They moved all my positions offshore, and there I was looking for a job. And luckily they gave me some package. So I said, okay, I can do it on my own. And I tried to do it on my own for a couple of months. But then I soon realized, I won't be getting most bang for my buck, and I will get pushed around to lower positions. That's when I got in touch with you guys, after holidays. And so we started like in January. And in the first week of March or second week of March, we got offers.
Yeah.
So Shantanu, at what point you're like, listen, I could do this on my own, but at what point were you mentally or in your job search where you're like, I need to bring in some help?
I was actually I was busy every week. I was talking to recruiters. I was talking to hiring managers. But I wasn't making progress in terms of getting rock solid leads, And in IT, there are lots of opportunities, but it's difficult, to go wade through all the, crowd. And that's where I was getting stuck.
Sure.
And another thing I was looking for, a little bit coaching, polishing my resume, polishing my LinkedIn, where you did a great job. It's amazing. That is one of the, jewel stood out to me. It was really helpful. And when now people look at me, they look at me as a leader rather than a doer. We had that conversation.
Yes.
I was getting stuck in last phase where, I was getting shoved into entry-level positions. But, after we fixed the resume, after we fixed the LinkedIn profile, then the expectations of people who are looking at my profile get set accordingly, and then you get positioned and steered towards right positions, basically.
Sure. So we helped you with your resume. We got you your LinkedIn. You're starting to feel a little bit more like that leader because you're being portrayed that way too. Besides the tools, how else did we help you?
So one of the things, obviously, I was underselling me. You guys told me is don't undersell yourself, and which is in last coaching call we talked about, someone was getting 100K less in their last job, so it's when you are in a position where you are really desperately needing a job, you tend to undersell yourself. So that was another help. What else? Putting method around and structure around my daily routine, reaching out to people. I within a week I reached more than 500 people, and by end of January, when I had the company list and everything, starting February, I got back again in the same mode where I was busy. So which was nice, and it was more structured because now the leads who made more sense rather than going through the crowd and you are another person in line, the conversations were more, relevant. So that was another thing. And the last thing which you guys helped me, I'm definitely missing a lot of things. I shouldn't say last thing, but the morale support. When you go through roller coaster, we tell people, and I had another conversation with my wife. Is, hey, men shouldn't cry, and I said, that makes men aggressive. Okay, don't say that. So you go through those roller coasters and low days. Those were the days you guys helped me, basically. Because if you don't get the right support, then it manifests into non-constructive things, and it may impact your job search. So that was another thing which you guys helped me a lot.
Excellent, man. Thanks for sharing that. Just to recap, right? We do a phenomenal job on these resumes and LinkedIn's, but a lot of the times people think that that's all they need, when there's still a lot of things, right? Going after a high-level position that pays $250,000, it's going to be really hard to get that by just applying online and a recruiter. Like, you have to know this whole process, right? Yeah. And, even working together, man, you were still stressed out working together. And this is you going on lots of interviews, right? And if you're in IT, information technology, software, all the full loops you went through, right? The full loops, the full days, the sixth interview, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes, and not hearing back and saying, hey, Tim, we haven't heard back, like just coming up with strategies on how to, you know what I mean? Make that happen quicker for you. And you're right. Most people at your level, right? This may be no surprise if you're watching this, undersell themselves because no one likes talking about how good they are. Yeah. And when you do it successfully, that's when you get a 75K increase and the money that you do deserve in the marketplace, right? So you said this at the beginning. So just to recap, you joined the beginning of January. The beginning of March, you got that offer in for 185, which we then, me, you, and Kara came together and put up something very logical, right? Very logical based on market standards, and said, hey, it's very logical that we're going to need $40,000 more to make this happen. Yep. And they did. But then the real good position came in. And if anyone's wondering how he got it, this is a guy who was searching for 6 months. And Shantanu, this was a friend that he knew, that he normally worked with, that he messaged one time, and the guy didn't get back to him. And we always talk about follow-up and create a follow-up. And he reached back out to him, and they got you connected to the company, and you win it, and bing and boom. And the final was $250K base, 25% annual bonus, $50K sign-on bonus paid in 2 installments, and full relocation. How do you feel now?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good.
Pretty good?
I'm just waiting for a background check to come back, and I'm ready to join the company.
Excellent.
That's awesome. Man, Shantanu, out of this whole program, you've been through a roller coaster. What did you find, if you can pick one thing, what would you say is the most valuable part of this program?
There is not one thing. As Tim pointed out, there are so many things, right? And a couple of things which I mentioned already is basically, working on the profile and the resume was one of the starting point, where you personally gained my confidence. You spent like 1.5 or 2 hours with me going through each and every word on my resume. Mm-hmm. And then we went through an iteration and we worked on it, and then it was easy to update the LinkedIn profile. And then the next thing which is very valuable is putting structure around daily routine and how to come up with a way to reach out to people and create that network. And finally, small things. Okay, talking when you have anxiety, talking when you have a question, being there for anything and everything, which was great.
And the very complicated interview processes that come along in the tech world, right? Yep. Meeting with all of these different people in such short amount of time, and making sure that you say the right things for sometimes an 8-hour interview series, right? It can be very complicated. So, hey, last question we have for you, right? What advice would you have for someone who we've talked to who's maybe thinking about joining the program and they're like, you know, like, I'm just not sure. If they were right here, right now, what would you tell that individual?
So especially for people in tech, right? They want to know exactly how this works, and you know, that's where the beauty of the program comes in. You know, it's like engineering. You know, you guys have methodology, and you know, there is no magic. There is no magic in entire world. Literally, you have to put your work together and work hard. But if you got structure, if you have strategy, if you have fine tuning going on as you move on, then you get results. And that's what happened in my case. So if you are kind of frustrated, if you are kind of feeling is you are not sure, okay, about what is happening, why it is taking so much time, and you want kind of more structured and guaranteed results, then this is the plan. And once you know, get that, your efforts will actually give you guaranteed results.
Excellent. Well, hey, from me and Kara, man, you know, in closing, we just want to truly wish you like the best of luck. And just like we tell you, right, we try to leverage relationships when we can. So when me and Kara call you in a year saying, there's an opening at this position or XYZ, and we remember, right, don't make us twist your arm to help us out, all right?
Yeah.
We're so happy for you.
I'm excited. I'm really excited. This is a dream job. And yes, and yeah, I'm still sometimes not believing that the team knows that, right? And you can see lack of enthusiasm probably in my expression, which is kind of funny. You know, after 6 months of this, you become kind of, you know, pessimist. Depends on your thinking too, a little bit. You know, I'm here to blame myself. You know, but yeah, it's kind of a dream come true. And I'm waiting for the first day to join the company.